The spring harvest is over. I've been really busy, and I'm welcoming this slightly less active summer garden. But there's still maintenance to be done. Today, I'm going to show you what's going on in the summer garden in late July, Central Florida. And I'm also going to take you around my grounds and show you the fruit trees that I have, as well as preparing some beds for some pineapple that are almost ripe and ready to be picked. Hi, I'm Debbie. Welcome to my organic garden.
All I have needs, I have not provided.
My biggest challenge this year has been slugs. I mean, it was an infestation. Every time I would transplant some new vines into areas that they have eaten all the way down, they would come back and eat them again. But I wanted to show this to you, how resilient sweet potato plants are. This is where the slugs ate it down to nothing, and here is new growth. And this bed is making a comeback. I do keep transplanting new vines as I see extra ones that are just excess in a bed. And hopefully my goal of having sweet potato plants from here all the way down to there will be fulfilled, with the exception of my peanut plants. And yes, slugs like peanuts too, and they damage some of these new peanuts coming up, so I'll have to replant those before these other ones get too big. I found out that slugs like marigold plants. They retreat to these bushes in the early morning hours, and it makes them easy to find. Some of them are still munching on Seminole pumpkins, and that really surprised me because Seminole pumpkin doesn't normally have any enemies, but this year, I'll walk you back here, they have really met an enemy that just wiped them out down here. But Seminole pumpkin is also very resilient, and whatever is left living will come back again. I haven't been getting very many pumpkins this year, and I'm thinking maybe those worms were eating the new blossoms too. So I do plan on spraying these with Bacillus thuringius. I think that's how you say it, because I really would like to stop the spread. See, they're all the way up here to the middle. I'm still going through all of my sweet potato beds and burying vines so that they'll take root, and along those roots there'll be more sweet potatoes. The most labor-intensive thing I have to do over the summer is just keeping the boundaries of my garden. The grass and the dollar weed will invade really quickly. So about once every 2 weeks, I have to go around the entire garden and reestablish the boundaries. Maintenance is the key, especially if you hand dig your garden like I do. You know, it is a lot of work, but the results that I get for hand digging my garden, it's well worth it. I'm 67 years old. I'm very thankful for the health and strength that I have. But I just want to encourage you, consider hand digging your garden too. Your soil and your plants will thank you for it. Here's why it's important to keep up the edges of your garden. You see all this dollar weed? It creeps up underneath the edge of the mulch, and then pops up 2 feet away. That's why I prefer to leave it dirt around the edges of my garden. That way I can see where those sneaky little weeds are trying to grow into my garden. These are Asian long beans. And it's another challenge that I haven't figured out yet. Why are they not deep, dark, lush green like I've had in the past? I've fertilized them, I've put sulfur on them, and I really think there was some kind of disease that came in with the tomatoes. Although they're not related at all, that's where the tomatoes were also having trouble. So I'm not real sure what's going on, but I will keep them fertilized, keep sulfur on them about once every other week, and hopefully I'm going to have some Asian long beans. These are papaya trees, and I just transplanted them 4 months ago, and they were only about that tall. They grow amazingly fast, and from the time you transplant them till the time you have fruit to eat is only about 9 months. I was so excited until I saw this. Papaya blooms are very cool, but there's no female flowers here. These are all male flowers. I was really hoping that the ones coming up real close here were going to be female, but they're not. They're male flowers. So this has really been a big surprise for me, because this is about the 3rd generation of papayas that I have had come up in my garden, and I've saved the seed and replanted them and even thrown them away into the compost because I didn't need any more papayas. So I am letting this one keep growing, and hopefully this one's going to have female flowers. The original trees seem to only have female flowers, and I got fruit like crazy. These little papaya trees right here came up after being dormant for at least 2 years. That is quite amazing. And this one here, these two, had been dormant for at least 2 years. But they came up, and I said, okay, I'm glad to have papayas again. Now, because I have this problem of not knowing what this tree is, and knowing that this tree is male, I'm going to transplant these just a few feet away right here where the compost is not quite finished. And I'm going to go ahead and grow these as well. And hopefully one of these trees is going to be female. This is a mango tree that we planted at the southeast corner of our home to protect it from cold breezes blowing across the pasture in the back. And it seems to have worked. The tree is healthy and strong, and this year it produced fruit. But much to my amazement, it smells like pine. It tastes kind of like pine. So I got onto some groups and found out that there is such a thing as a turpentine mango, and they use it for rootstock. And now I have this big, beautiful tree, and I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I'll let it go 1 more year, and if that resulting fruit still tastes like turpentine, I'm going to chop it down. It's a real shame. On around the corner to my fig tree, it is struggling. Always has struggled. Do you see all the growth that's come out of the bottom? I do see some fig trees that look more like bushes. So I'm really kind of puzzled about this. It's never produced figs, and I've had it in the ground 3 years, and it's not very big. It's not even 5 feet tall. So Right next to the fig tree is this avocado tree. It had one avocado on it, and when it got to be about the size of a silver dollar, it dropped. So I'm going to give it another year or two. It seems to be healthy. It is trying to produce fruit. I'm trying to be patient. These are my pineapple plants. I have 5 this year. And you can see they don't get real big, but they sure are tasty. When they get so heavy that they bend toward the ground, you need to start watching them. They'll be ripe really, really soon. You see this one starting to turn yellow. I'm going to give it 1, maybe 2 more days, and then I'm going to pick it. And the reason I pick it before it's ripe is because there are critters out here that know when pineapple is ripe. So the rest of them aren't ready yet. This is pineapple. It's only about 2 years old. They should start producing next year. And that is a loquat tree. Just kind of been taking its time growing taller, and honestly don't know if I should be clipping it back or not to encourage it to branch. This is an elderberry tree, which oddly enough didn't have hardly any blooms this year, and consequently pretty much no fruit. I don't know what's going on there. It's just the strange weather we've been having. And again down there, pineapple surrounding loquat tree. Now the loquat trees are fairly young. I know they need to be, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. And you see here, this one has begun to branch on its own. And last, this bed here is going to become a pineapple bed. I tried growing beans here and it didn't work. Pineapple apparently do pretty well underneath oak trees. So down there are where, right over there is where the pineapples that are growing, they're doing pretty good. Whereas pineapple that I have out in my garden in the full sunshine are not doing well. So I'm thinking beans don't do well here, probably because of the oak tree here, but the pineapple like it. So guess what? That's where the pineapple are going to go. The strategy here is to turn this bed and then cover it really deep with grass that's been mowed and finish killing off the rest of these weeds. And then I'll fertilize it with some fertilizer and plant the tops of those pineapple over there, and they will become new plants just like these, which came from pineapple tops that came from plants that I had grown. You ever curious why I wear a men's white long sleeve cotton shirt? I have a video about that, but here's a real quick hint. Left side for my sweat, right side for my nose. Check out the video. I think you'll like it. Well, I got my exercise for the day. It's only about 10 o'clock, but I'm ready to go inside. It's already sweltering out here. Give this video a green thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And fall is coming. I got to tell you, what to plan for soon. Thanks for watching.
Great.